Good morning, everyone. All right. Well, we're there. Where are we? We're at that time when the rest of the market is finally talking about what I've been talking about for 5 months, that we're going to see. I've been predicting a recession in the second half of 2022. That chatter is finally coming here. That's causing the next leg down for now. You can see on the QQQ, we're gapping down below 50 DMA support. On the SPY, we're down below 20-day support, heading for that 50 DMA support. ARC doesn't look great below all the key moving averages. I think it possibly could retest those lows. Bitcoin risk asset doesn't look great. We'll talk about gold in a second. Doing awesome. We'll review the chart. We see oil heading down. I think that may be possibly. I don't know that I've seen chatter about this yet. But I've talked about demand destruction, right? How in those new FAANGs we've talked about, fuel, agriculture, aerospace, nuclear, and gold, that I preferred agriculture over fuels, over energy, because you can see demand destruction with oil, but you can't, well, you'll see more limited demand destruction with agriculture, wheat, and corn. That's playing out this morning, possibly, as we see USO down 3%, but wheat heading higher. Corn is not on this list. It's on my other list. Let me add corn. Corn is at like a new 52-week high over here. Add corn to our watch list. Let's go. Oops, a little slow. All right. So a lot of the theses I had seem to be playing out. I do note there is a disparity between natural gas and oil. I'm not sure about the reason for that. I haven't researched that a lot, but natural gas is heading higher almost every day, whereas oil, found its peak a while ago, back around March 8th, while natural gas keeps on going higher and higher every day. You can see those very different charts. Okay, uranium, and we're looking at CCJ, looks good. This morning, I think maybe we'll see a run in those uranium stocks. Lithium is following Tesla. So Tesla's down 4.5%. Of course, they had the delivery issues, not the delivery, the production issues in China because of the shutdowns. So that's weighing on Tesla stock. But overall, I think what we're seeing here is what I've been predicting, that we could be seeing a recession because of higher interest rates, higher food and energy costs. We're possibly seeing demand destruction in energy, which is signaling maybe early signs of a recession. And now let's dig into some of those specific stocks. Wrong list. Okay, so actually I want to start with gold. Gold, I noted in our chat room the other week that it's breaking up above that 20 DMA again. Now over here ended up being a false breakout. And that didn't work out for me. Got a little bit hurt, but I'm still long a nice position gold. And I noted on Thursday or Friday, I guess it was Friday, when it broke out the 20 DMA, that it might be a little different this time because the MACD is flipping green. We didn't have that last time. So the MACD is flipping green. RSI looks good here. So we're seeing gold breaking out this morning. So I'm happy to have that as part of my long-term portfolio over there. And again, man, I showed you corn, wheat. You don't get demand destruction, at least not as much demand destruction with these food products. And the agriculture stocks are accordingly going up this morning. Well, Mosaic and IPI, the potash stocks kind of flat, but I think it was Archer Daniels that was up. If you guys have, Archer Daniels up 0.5%, Arcadia's up a little bit. So CNHI is up. These are all the ag stocks as we go down. ANDE is up. Okay, so if you have any ag stocks you want to bring in the chat rooms, please do that. Maybe something that hasn't moved yet or it's support, we could look at that. So that's agriculture and gold and natural gas. Uranium, I touched on a little bit strong this morning after that big move, but not a lot of, it's basically flat. If you look at the other uranium stocks, you see DNN flat here. So I'm actually hopeful that it's because it's held its gains that possibly this could go up. I have a pretty big position in DNN. I also have CCJ. All right, man, so much to talk about. What should we talk about next? We'll get to Twitter, but first, Kodak. Kodak, I think, is approaching, this is my largest position now, and I just love the story, but it's moving with the NASDAQ very clearly. Aside from this big pop here from the insider buying, all of these moves up here, down here, up here, down here, this is all mirroring what's going on with the NASDAQ. But we are approaching what I am calling triple support. You have the 200 DMA here. You have the 20 DMA coming up to meet the 200 DMA in between the 614 and 620 range, right? Stock 634. So I wouldn't be shocked if in this NASDAQ drawdown we test these levels. That's double support. What's the triple support? Triple support is insiders buying at those prices. Some of those insider purchases happened in the low sixes over here. There were additional insider purchases, I believe, on March 22nd or 3rd in the low sixes. So that's like a sentiment support plus the two technical levels. Why did it just cross? What? Did we just get an update in real time? Did he see that? The 20. Oh, whoa. That just updated like right now as I was talking to you guys. And another day of data, I guess, came in. And the 20 crossed the 200, which is a bullish cross and definitely a double support here. Let's hope that holds. Even if the NASDAQ gets crushed, maybe that'll hold. Very excited about Kodak. Okay. Twitter. I guess you all heard the story. You should have. Man, it's interesting. There's actually a good story here to look at. I was just reading this morning. Here it is. Wall Street Journal. Elon Musk deletes tweets criticizing Twitter after deciding against the joining board. But a lot of people may not know that's a new development. But this is a great article. If you go pull it up in your feed. Now, this situation with Twitter is interesting. It's not so clear cut. I don't think it's like, hey, his denied the board seat so he can buy Twitter tomorrow. I don't think it's that simple. I think he faced some unexpected resistance and is pulling back a little bit, figuring out his next move. So we'll see what's going on with Twitter. But you can see it's down this morning. And here, look at the impact it's having on DWAC. That's pretty obvious that DWAC would have been up this morning because DWAC got slammed when Elon Musk got involved with Twitter. Now, I personally, I think Musk will succeed at some point, some way, whether he ends up buying the company or buying more stake of the company. But that may take time to play out. You see all this DWAC move. I'm not in DWAC. I'm not going to advocate a trade in DWAC. But those of you who like it, I would not be surprised to see maybe a sharp short covering move today or tomorrow, something like that. I will not advocate a trade in this, but I'm peripherally interested in what happens with DWAC because it does impact CFVI, which is maybe my second largest position now after Kodak. So hopefully DWAC does have some sort of squeeze, and that'll help CFVI pop. So we'll be looking at that. Friday we gave you like this bonus stock which played out. It was only the only stock I pointed out as a possible trade for the day, and look at it, it was up all day. SV, this is the nuclear energy spec that had a series of catalysts just recently. You can go review the video on that from Friday, but I did end up selling. I took a profit Friday at the close, but we'll see. This looks very interesting, especially if uranium starts that move up again. I think you'll see more interest coming into SV. Last night, we had a presentation on ACTJ by Matt Kolb. I recommend you go look at it. It was a nice presentation. This is not like a story stock. It's not like a something that has like, I don't know. It's not exciting, right? It's a holding. It basically, this is like a holding company, but it's like super, super cheap, like trading below net asset value, trading below book value. So it's very, very interesting stock. Awesome presentation last night. I may pick some up as a long-term investment in my IRA. So I encourage you to take a look at ACTG. As far as the technicals there, you can see it broke the 50 DMA, bullish cross 20 over the 50. Can have this move to 5 at the 200 DMA, but look at it. This has been because of the market, I believe, this whole move down since November, right? Risk asset sell-off, even though this is probably not that risky. So, but got thrown away with the rest of the bathwater. Okay. What else? Vidler Water looking great. I have to check, but I think we're working on an article at StoryTrading, and with Rex on a chart, and with Mark Gomes, and we'll see if we can get some article published at some point to Benzinga to inform the rest of the world what's happening with Vidler Water. So, nice little price action there on Friday. This was presented 2 weeks ago. I do have a position on that after Mark's presentation. We need to talk about BioCris because this is an old VIP pick which just got crushed. It was right after a show Friday morning because one of their drugs that's in trials, not their production drug, right? Not Ordalio, not the commercialized drug Ordalio. But yeah, they're pausing trials for new patients, but existing patients still staying on it because I think elevated creatinine. I forgot which one, but some enzyme was elevated. So they're pausing new patients to look at why those enzymes were elevated. And you can see the stock getting crushed. I own this. I didn't take any action because I was a little bit surprised or blindsided by how bad it went down because my thesis was Orladeo. That's why I got in, and that's not impacted. $1 billion peak sales. I think you can make an argument that this stock is worth $20, even without any new drugs. And I think there was this Bank of America. Well, you see, Bank of America cut it to 14, Oppenheimer to 16, both well above the $10 it trades at today. But you know what? Sentiment matters, and bad news like this impacts sentiment, impacts especially the long term and growth. What do they have coming next? What about after Orladeo, right? So that's going to have an impact. And I think if you go to the 5-year chart on the weeklies, you can see there's support at about 980, 990. If you want to round it up to 10, I guess you could do that. And then the next support may be down here at like 8. So I could see that happening for sure. You know, I already have a nice position. I'm not chomping at the bit to buy more at 1037, but if it like goes to 8, I may pick up more because given the fundamentals of Orladeo, I think that'll end up being a great, great purchase. KMI got a downgrade this morning from Wolf Research, price target 18. Actually, they raised their price target because Kinder Morgan's done so well. So they had to raise it to 18. I don't know what it was before, but you can take a look at that. And look, SMSI, I think, is going to be impacted by the broader markets. Rex put out support at 350. He thinks that's going to be a very, very good buy, which matches what I have here in the 20 DMA. He thinks it may hit 350 and run from there. So that's something to look at. Did we talk about potash stocks, Mosaic, IPI? Those are kind of holding steady this morning with the rise in natural gas and corn. I think natural gas may benefit them. I'm not sure, but I know natural gas is a raw material that goes into potash, and it keeps going higher, but potash keeps going higher. I don't know. Do they like somehow get higher margins, charge people a lot more when natural gas is higher? I'm not sure what's going on there, but I don't know if that's the story or simply because corn and wheat keep skyrocketing that potash keeps going up. But SEAC, we had talked to Matt last night. I sold some at 135 last week. I hope some of you did that, followed me if you wanted to, but I got out at 135, about 15% of my position. We're back here down at 112, 113. Matt thinks this deal is still closing. So we'll see. And he thinks we're still good for that $2 price. So we'll have to see how that plays out. TFFP didn't get the reaction I wanted last week after that insider buy. So I'm a little bit stuck because I went overweight using some trading money that was not intended to be used. So in any case, but you know, I think the fundamental prospects here are great, and that insider buy is a great sign. We'll probably test that again, but we may have to wait for the next leg up in the markets. You know, markets aren't going to go straight down. Even if there's a recession, you're going to have down moves and up moves and all this volatility. So maybe on the next up move, we can break that 200 DMA on TFFP. So if you're looking for green shoots in the market and the Qs and SPY, Elliott wave theory, Rex, pretty well aligned right now. That there's going to be a correction. I forgot exactly what level here, but not much lower than this. And then they're looking for like a move to 370 or 390. I don't know if I believe that. You know, at this point, you just got to be in solid stocks, and on those green days, your stocks will outperform, right? I think that's what's going to happen with Kodak. Kodak will be down on the red days, but on those green days, it's going to dramatically outperform because people who are convicted are buying up the float in Kodak on those red days. And I think that's what's going to happen also with stocks like SMSI and solid companies. So that's the story for today. I don't have like a pick or anything or something to focus on today. You may want to consider more ag stocks if you're not in it, or gold. I think gold may be going on a multi-day or week run, possibly with this little chart here. I hope to 185 plus. And let's just look at the news one last time. A little overtime here, guys, and don't see anything popping out. So I'll be talking to you in the community. Thanks for your time, everyone.